So how do you feel about it being over?
I'm fine with it. It's gonna be new opportunities.
Common in this book? Did you put Common in here?
There's a lot of common men in there.
A lot of common men.
But he's not in there.
He's not in there.
No.
How were you?
I've learned.
Yes.
Everybody don't need to be in your story.
The music industry is shaking right now. And it's not because of a new album drop. It's because two powerful women may have finally had enough. Word on the street is that Jennifer Hudson and Tiffany Haddish are no longer staying silent. And the name at the center of this storm? Common. Yes, that Common. The smooth-talking poet. The so-called conscious king. The man who built his brand on love, healing, and deep conversations. But what if the image doesn't match the reality?
And you hadn't told nobody. So this is my thing, like, how does your business about your relationship get out if only two people know that it's over?
No. More than two people in my camp knew that it was over.
Okay.
And I'm sure a bunch of people in his camp knew, because I sure was calling them like, can y'all get my stuff out of his house? Can you send it to my house? Please, thank you, appreciate it.
What if behind the calm voice and humble smile, there was something much colder, something calculated? People are whispering that Jennifer and Tiffany have compared notes, and what they allegedly discovered about Common's money habits has them side-eyeing everything. And here's the twist. It's not about romance this time. It's about finances, power, control. And when two women who once loved the same man start connecting the dots, oh, it gets messy. Because sometimes the biggest betrayal isn't cheating. Sometimes it's the money.
Like really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know.
Jennifer Hudson has always carried herself with grace. From her early days on American Idol to winning an Oscar, she built her career brick by brick. She survived unimaginable tragedy. She rebuilt her life in front of the world. She wasn't just chasing fame. She was fighting for stability, for peace, for security. After the devastating loss of her mother, brother, and nephew, Jennifer leaned into her work. She leaned into motherhood, and she learned the hard way that love can be complicated. Her long engagement to David Otunga ended in a painful split, filled with accusations, court dates, and emotional exhaustion.
As long as you got some things in your list and you know what you want, you're not gonna get everything. Because I'm not perfect, so neither would that person be perfect, right?
Right.
Yo.
By the time Common stepped into her life, Jennifer wasn't some starry-eyed teenager. She was cautious, protective, careful. And Common, he came in smooth, calm, mature. He talked about growth, about healing, about being ready for something serious. He spoke the language of security, the kind of language that makes a woman who's been hurt before feel safe again. At first, it seemed beautiful. They kept it low-key, private dinners, subtle appearances, that quiet kind of love that feels grown. When they finally went public, fans were rooting for them. They looked balanced, grounded, solid. But here's what nobody expected. Behind the scenes, there were whispers about money. Now, let's rewind for a second.
I pray to God to send me somebody that I can have fun with, that I can communicate with, and somebody I don't have to fight with.
Common has dated some of the most successful women in entertainment, from Serena Williams to Angela Rye to Tiffany Haddish. Powerful women, independent women, women with their own empires. And that's where things start to look interesting. Tiffany Haddish once spoke openly about how much she loved Common. She called it the healthiest relationship she'd ever had. She said she felt secure, happy. But when it ended, the energy shifted. At first, Common framed it as a mutual breakup, busy schedules, timing, the usual celebrity excuses. But Tiffany later hinted that she didn't see it coming, that she was blindsided. And now insiders are claiming there may have been financial tension behind the scenes. Not that Common was broke, not exactly, but that he allegedly leaned heavily on the women he dated when it came to lifestyle, travel, business investments, even shared projects. The image he projects is simple and humble.
Like really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like a, he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know.
But allegedly, he enjoys the finer things, as long as he's not the one footing the bill. And when Jennifer started noticing similarities between her experience and Tiffany's, that's when the conversation allegedly happened. Imagine that phone call. 2 women, 2 separate relationships, same man, comparing patterns. Because here's the twist.
Is there any truth to you and Jennifer Hudson?
Well, I'll say
Jennifer reportedly began feeling pressure, subtle pressure, investment conversations, joint ventures, big plans that required her capital, ideas that sounded empowering but somehow left her carrying the heavier financial weight. At first, she brushed it off. Couples invest together, right? That's normal. But when proposals of marriage started entering the picture, Jennifer hesitated, not because she didn't care about him, but because something didn't feel balanced. She had already spent nearly a decade engaged once before. She wasn't about to sign up for another situation that could end in courtrooms and financial chaos. And according to rumors, that hesitation caused friction.
Rumors say a lot of things. But he's a beautiful man, I will give you that.
Common reportedly didn't like that she questioned certain business ideas, didn't like that she wanted separate financial protections, didn't like that she asked for clarity before commitment. That's when Tiffany allegedly stepped back into the picture, not romantically, but as a voice of warning. Because Tiffany had her own stories. She allegedly felt like she was constantly giving, emotionally and financially, while Common maintained his good guy image publicly. Now, let's be clear. None of this has been confirmed officially, but in Hollywood, patterns speak louder than press releases. And fans started noticing something else. Whenever a relationship ends with Common, the woman seems to glow up, while he moves quietly to the next successful partner. Coincidence? Maybe. But when Jennifer reportedly declined certain joint financial commitments, and possibly even a proposal, the narrative began shifting. Suddenly, whispers started painting her as afraid of love, not ready for commitment. But what if it wasn't fear? What if it was wisdom? What nobody expected was Jennifer and Tiffany showing subtle public support for each other. Social media likes, friendly comments, public praise. It wasn't loud, it wasn't messy, it was strategic. 2 women who once might have been seen as rivals, now appearing united. And that unity, it speaks volumes, because when women compare notes, the truth has a way of surfacing. Industry insiders claim that Jennifer decided to step back once she realized the financial entanglement was moving faster than the emotional foundation. She wanted love, not a merger. And if there's one thing Jennifer learned from her past, it's that protecting her peace is more important than protecting a man's ego. Meanwhile, Tiffany's alleged comments about karma and patterns didn't go unnoticed. Fans connected the dots immediately. It wasn't about jealousy. It wasn't about bitterness. It was about recognition.
And Common, he's reportedly frustrated that the narrative is shifting because his brand has always been built on depth, on intellect, on emotional intelligence. But money changes everything. When financial motives enter a relationship, love starts to feel transactional. Conversations feel heavier. Trust feels thinner. And if Jennifer truly felt like she was being positioned as an asset instead of a partner, that would explain everything. The emotional toll of this situation can't be ignored. Jennifer has fought too hard for her stability. She worked through grief most people couldn't survive. She rebuilt her career after heartbreak. She became a mother first, always. To even entertain the idea that someone might view her success as an opportunity rather than a blessing, that cuts deep. And Tiffany, she's known for laughter, for jokes, for that bright energy. But behind that humor is a woman who's been through abandonment, struggle, and survival. Neither of these women are naive. They've both worked too hard to let history repeat itself. And maybe that's the real story here. Not revenge, not drama. Growth. Two women choosing themselves, choosing financial independence, choosing clarity over chemistry. If these rumors are true, then this isn't about exposing someone out of spite. It's about drawing a boundary. It's about saying, we see the pattern, and we're not playing along. And here's the powerful part. Instead of tearing each other down, Tiffany and Common allegedly uplifted each other. No catfights, no interviews dragging names, just quiet strength. Sometimes the loudest statement is silence backed by action. Because if Common truly believed he could move from one successful woman to another without anyone noticing the similarities, he may have underestimated the power of conversation. Hollywood relationships come and go, but reputations, those stick. And right now, the reputation being questioned isn't about romance, it's about intention. Was he looking for love or leverage? That's the question fans can't stop asking.
At the end of the day, Jennifer Hudson doesn't need validation. She's an Oscar winner, a Grammy winner, a woman who built an empire from pain. Tiffany Haddish doesn't need rescuing. She fought her way out of homelessness and into Hollywood's spotlight. They are not stepping stones. They are powerhouses. And if they truly teamed up to protect themselves and each other, that's not scandalous, that's smart. Because sometimes the real glow-up isn't finding the perfect partner, it's realizing you don't need one to thrive. So the next time you see headlines painting this as petty drama, look deeper. Maybe this isn't about exposing a man. Maybe it's about exposing a pattern. And patterns, once revealed, lose their power. But here's the real question. If two strong women quietly step away from the same man for similar reasons, is that coincidence or confirmation? Let me know what you think, because something tells me this story isn't over yet.